Hello, this is Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Some changes at Orange County's Civic Center Plaza. One of the old buildings has been leveled to make way for brand new facilities there. And some of the homeless people who were living on the plaza have moved across the street to a shelter. Supervisor Andrew Doe is here to talk about those issues as well as some other things. Welcome.
Hello, Leslie.
So some of the homeless were displaced a little bit, but the wheels were already in motion before the building came down at the Civic Center Plaza. The move across the street to some facilities there, how is that going so far?
Great, Leslie. Fortunately, we had the courtyard up and operating since October of 2016. Just in time for us to begin the new phase of the rebuilding of the Civic Center in Santa Ana. And so we have a facility just literally across the street, so many of the homeless have been able to find shelter there.
But the issue still persists at Civic Center Plaza.
Sure, but greatly reduced. And they have been confined mostly to the city side of the Civic Center, which is the Plaza of the Flags, which is nearer to the courthouse than it is to the county buildings.
What is going to happen in terms of finding help for the homeless who are in the Civic Center Plaza?
The courtyard in Santa Ana is just the first step. In 2 months, we will be opening up a new facility in Anaheim on Kramer. And that will be the second part of our comprehensive approach to solving homelessness. By that, I mean we will have a system where people can be help with their issues, mental health or drug addiction, and have a way to transition out of homelessness. So this courtyard in Santa Ana will be the first step, and then it will go through a multi-service center approach in Anaheim, ultimately with a goal toward moving out to permanent housing.
There's been a lot of talk about this over the years. There was a 10-year plan to end homelessness, and that was longer than 10 years ago, and we still have the issue. What are the big challenges in the county that remain?
Actually, we are only in year 7 of the 10-year plan, but regardless, we still have not come up with a comprehensive plan. And so when I got on the board, the first thing I wanted to address, Leslie, is to achieve concrete results, to actually get things going instead of just discussing it. And so the courtyard and the Kramer site and the two armories, the armory site that we have in Fullerton and Santa Ana, these are just a beginning. And then over time, we will add to our housing stock for both transitional housing and permanent housing in the future.
It seems the difference this time is that a lot of the nonprofits and the other agencies are working together to try to find solutions.
Right, and it has to be a coordinated effort between a nonprofit, the faith-based organization, and the county as well, and the cities. We can't do it alone, and you know what we can do at this county is to use the resource that we have to help facilitate some of the efforts by the city and the nonprofit.
Meantime, business goes on at Civic Center Plaza. You know, a lot of people have complained about the facilities there. They were dated and not working very efficiently. What can we expect with the new building and other buildings to come there?
Right. Some people may pose the question of why. It's better to use the money maybe to help with homelessness. And you know, there is a cost to doing nothing because these buildings are old. So the building I work in costs $10 million a year just in terms of doing the repairs and to do the retrofit upgrade in order to meet with state regulations. And so there is a cost to doing nothing. And the old buildings have also been very inefficient in terms of their use. Inefficient in terms of lighting, heat, air, and then space. With a new building, we will be able to house more of our employees in those facilities and not have to rent space around, private office space. And that will save a lot of money as well. You know, each year we rent 750,000 square feet of office space in Santa Ana just to meet the needs of the county. And I think with the new facilities, we'll be more efficient with the land that we do have, and we will be able to save ourselves of having to rent so much office space.
How have things changed in terms of design, what this building will offer for the efficiency of the way things are run at the county?
In the old days, we worked with boxes of files and papers. So we allocated almost 400 square feet of space per employee. This is way more than what we need today. In the private sector, they are working closer to 160 square feet per employee. So now, even though our new configuration in the new building will not be at 160, at least at 220, is still a lot better than the almost 400 square feet per employee that we have now.
These are big issues, the homelessness and the new Civic Center Plaza. But what are the other issues that you're working on right now in the county that people might not think are deserving of your time and concentration?
Affordable housing is probably the biggest thing facing our county. We have made the list of the top 10 most expensive places to live in the country. And so housing insecurity leading to living conditions, family and children, affecting kids being able to feel safe in terms of their food security as well, because people have to spend more money on housing. And so the net effect is, with housing insecurity, it leads to a lot of other types of insecurity in people's life. So we have to increase the housing stock that we have in Orange County so that people can afford to live in Orange County and work here.
What is the county's role, though, in making homes affordable for everyone, and how do you go about that? Do you tell developers you need to make these rents this price?
Oh, sure. All we can do is regulate the land that we do own and is within our control. And then hopefully that will influence the cities and use that as a model for the cities to emulate. What we can do is, for instance, like if we have parking lots that we lease out to the court, for instance, like in my district, West Court in Santa Ana. Now, instead of just using it as a parking lot, we can develop it so we can have affordable housing above the parking level. So say 2 levels would be for parking. The ground level would be still for court use. The second level of parking will be for the residents, and then above that would be affordable housing. So we're not losing any parking space that we need, and yet we provide more units that will be available for affordable housing. Yeah,
it's one cog in reversing the homelessness as well, if you consider the causes. Because you can't afford a place to live, because you don't have a job, maybe drug addiction or mental illness. If you can address each one of those, then you can reverse the tide.
Absolutely, and that's part of our multi-service center that we have. When people transition through the programs we have at the Courtyard, and if they're further along and they're closer to that transitional housing, then they will be moved over to the Kramer site. And at the Kramer site, they will get all of the services that we have at the county, then to help them transition back into a productive life and into permanent housing. What's your biggest frustration right now in this whole process of the homelessness? I think the extent of the problem, as you can see from the riverbed in Santa Ana and going over to Orange and Fullerton, just the pervasiveness of it makes it very difficult because it's not localized. So we have the same issue, homelessness, but in different forms, in different locations, and these all, take a lot of effort to address. And so it does divert our resource in terms of manpower and our ability to address that issue. All right. Supervisor Andrew Doe, we appreciate you coming here to discuss these issues with us today. Thank you, Leslie. And we are glad you're there too. I'm Leslie Leyton.